Hi, my name is Annabelle, and in this video I'll show you how to create a lane assessment with multiple road suppliers in Validate. Adding multiple road suppliers is now available so that a forwarder or manufacturer does not have to create and maintain a lane for each subcontracted road transport provider. They can create one lane for the combination of subcontractors. A lane in Validate is configured with general information, such as the book temperature and a route, defined by transport steps and transit points. These may be road transport steps for pre-carriage and on-carriage, and intermediate warehouse storage. In our example, we create a lane from Basel to Boxmeer and is booked at 2 to 8 degrees. We start by clicking on Create Lane, where we enter the lane name and provide some details, such as the book temperature and the packaging type. When we click Create, we are redirected to the lane configuration screen to further define the lane. First, you notice the various configuration items at the top. You may, for example, add general information, further specify the product category, and indicate the packaging manufacturer. After defining this general information, we can define the transport process. Let's start with the pickup point at the origin of the lane, and let's assume we ship from a site in Novartis in Basel. We simply add Novartis, and Validate will use Google to search for address details. Next, we add a road step from the pickup points. Here we need to supply the road transport supplier. When the trucking is managed by one of your locations, it could be that this location is using multiple road subcontractors. In Validate, it is possible to create one lane with all the subcontractors listed in the road step. That way, you do not have to create a separate lane for each road subcontractor separately. It is possible to either have a manual road supplier or a road supplier from the company location. In the first case, you can choose which trucking companies to use, for instance, VTS and 3G Transport. In the second case, it is also possible to add pre-populated road suppliers with road subcontractors of a company location that have been predefined. To do that, click on Company Location and then choose the company location you want to use for populating. Validate will automatically select the corresponding trucking companies. To add subcontracted road suppliers to a company location, you can open the location in My Locations and then go to Suppliers in the Configuration tab. Let's choose the second case for this lane assessment. Furthermore, let's assume that the duration is 360 minutes in a temperature-controlled truck. When adding road suppliers, Validate automatically selects the worst-case scenario for the assessment, meaning the road supplier with the lowest capability score. When multiple road suppliers are selected for a road step, the user can also modify which supplier or location's capabilities are used. Now we have a road step. As said before, the application automatically selects the worst-case scenario for the assessment. This is shown by the underlining that supplier. The user can also see the selected multiple road suppliers in the lane, time plan, and configuration. Finally, let's add a warehouse step in Boxmeer. Let's click on Add. Now, a lot of things are happening in the background. The application will look up the capabilities of the locations and create a time plan that uses this information. For example, to determine if steps are performed in a temperature-controlled environment and the typical duration. Now our lane configuration is complete. At a later stage, you can add an approval workflow and share the lane with other parties, such as the shipper and the carriers. In Validate, the external parties can also jointly approve the lane with their digital signatures. We'll show this in a separate video. So, let's quickly look at the outputs. First, the lane overview, where we see a summary of our new lane. A more detailed time plan is shown in this screen, and Validate also creates a predicted ambient temperature graph based on the climate data in January and July. These graphs are considering average weather conditions. Finally, the lane assessments, which include an evaluation on 5 different factors: ambient temperature exposure, temperature protection from packaging, quality management, security, and the duration and complexity of the lane. More information about this assessment can be found in our Help Center, where you can also find more information about other details regarding the lane assessments. Good luck and please contact us for further information.